Well, it is the 11th of July, 2025. It's a peaceful morning at the boat launch. Well, they just spent their first day out in the world. I see now it is the 18th of July. Wow. The season is sliding by. So about 4 or 5 days ago, another 9/10 of rain. Very nice. So that is enough to finish up these crops pretty good, as long as we aren't sent hot windy days. And there isn't really that in the forecast. There's a few 30s, but it is the end of July, or second half, so it's to be expected. You can see the Hutter 8 peas here are looking pretty nice. The winter wheat, it's scruffy, but there's going to be a few bales. Now we're playing the waiting game again because it's ready to go, and the forecast is saying we're going to get a little more rain starting tonight through tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night. So I bounce back and forth between cutting and waiting. Have decided to wait and let this weather go by, but the thing is that forecast shows we could get some showers throughout the week, so at some point I'll just have to cut it, I guess. The waiting is hard. When the crop is ready, you just want to go. But it's not always the best decision. The thing is, you don't know what the best decision is until it's all over and done. But for today, I'm waiting. The last couple of days I've been trying to keep myself distracted on other jobs. Keep the mind off of cutting. So today I'm going to town. Lori's truck has a brake issue that needs to be dealt with. So that's the project today. It never rains, but it pours. Pretty hard to catch mosquitoes right now. Wow, what an adventure this year has been. We went from, well, a promising looking spring, a little bit of rain preceding. Of course, that was on top of bone dry soil, but it gave hope, as rain does. To through the first part of the season, that first rain, that 2 1/4, came on the 21st of June, and just a week prior to that, I was trying to prepare my mind for a no harvest. So that's not easy. And then comes that rain, and everything did respond nicely. Surprisingly, I don't know how. But since then, up until today, which is the 21st of July, there has been on the top side of 4 inches of rain. So we went from well below average rainfall to above average. And it is amazing how the crops have come back. We have crops that are average or above average in the area here. Wow. And the forecast says we could get over a 1/2 inch of rain starting tonight into tomorrow morning. I'm out for my morning walk now, and the roads are muddy. So you just never know. In an earlier video, I think walking to the South Saskatchewan at breakup, I spoke to the dream of going to the East Coast after harvest. Now I'm not so sure. Now I'm trying to prep my mind for the possibility that the harvest could be delayed and we just run out of time for going east. It's a big journey and not something that can be rushed. I like to have time while we're there. So you just never know. But having a crop to harvest is exciting. And actually a nice crop to harvest. If we can get it to the finish line with all this moisture here now, the wet ground, we have some 30-degree days coming up. That's just perfect for cooking up a hailstorm, so if we can avoid that, things are looking real good. So there's where the flax is at. The bulk of the field where the emergence was decent, it's short, but I think a reasonable count of bulls. And then areas where the emergence was sketchy, it is thinner, of course, so growing up taller, and we'll still be putting some blooms on today. So overall, pretty pleasing. So the triticale, I never would have dreamed this possible, but here it is. Of course, it isn't all looking like this, but it is, you know, the hills in this land, like over there, are always thin and short, and the low ground like this is always quite nice. But on average, I would say this is kind of thigh high. So in an earlier video, when I was kind of giving up hope on this, I mentioned that I don't expect you'll run out of clearance walking through it, but this is it. And quite nice heads on here, and should have plenty of moisture now to fill them nicely. Thank you. Well, good morning. It is 23rd of July, I believe. So today is going to be the day I swathed the winter wheat finally. The ground is still wet on the surface, but my patience has run out. I'm just ready to swath it. There's a lot of weeds coming up through, especially the one field, and I want to get them cut off. So today's the day. Although the dew is dripping off the roof this morning. These plants here, it's all dripping with dew. It's a beautiful morning. I noticed the birds have shifted into fall mode, or late season anyway. They're no longer in the treetops calling out their territory. They've gotten past that. More focus on feeding and getting fattened up, ready for the trip. So it's a different feel now. We do have, Dory has some people coming to walk the labyrinth tomorrow morning. It'll be beautiful for that. And that's something I would say is, if that's your kind of thing, and are interested in walking the labyrinth, put it in the comments and we'll see what we can work out. There is a lot of little swallows flying around the yard now. This morning they were up high, so it says the bugs were up high. It's nice and calm. It's quite a thing watching that feed. They're such good pilots, so fast, so nimble, so lively. Always chatter going amongst them. It's fun. That too, if you're interested in watching that. Again, put it in the comments. Speaking of comments, go ahead and comment. I'm curious to know what you're all thinking. Curious to know where you are. When I look at the information on YouTube. I just forget the numbers exactly, but I think it's 30 or 35%, somewhere in there, Canadian. 17 or something like that, US. So where in the world are the rest? That's got my interest. So go ahead and comment, please. So round 2 for these guys. They've decided not to use their nest again. They're up there in that little willow platform that I made a number of years ago, but I thought maybe they would build onto it. But they basically have just put a liner in it. So they should have another batch going here in a couple of weeks. Well, less. So that's fun. I think today is the 1st of August. So they're, well, maybe a little late. They'll be fine. But I have seen in the past a few times where if it's a batch that is late and the others have to go, they generally leave as a group. I have seen where another couple will stay and help them, the late ones, finish up. So they'll be fed by 4 adults and they grow up real fast and take off. It's just mind-boggling to think that a little bird out of the nest for only a few days learn to fly and start off for South America. Wow. What a journey. So I'm still waiting for the weeds to dry in that winter wheat. It's taken a long time. We did go and turn those swaths using old red green. Rory got a bit of footage of that. But anyway, I thought I'd show red green. It's a creation I'm kind of proud of. So this is what we call red green for obvious reasons. So it is the frame from my old hay bine, an old Heston 1014 I think is the model. And then I stripped it down to the frame, cut a section out of an old Autotrans swather, which is the green, mounted onto that hay bine, utilizing the lift and everything from that, and then a combine pickup. Used the hydraulics off of the Autotran So we have ability here to adjust the canvas speed as well as switch it from left to right, and then the ability to adjust the pickup speed, being that it's all hydraulic driven. Right there is one thing that I would have to work on yet. There's a pinch point there that can cause some trouble if you get into, especially in alfalfa. When a year come along that we needed a way of turning swaths, alfalfa swaths, it seemed that everyone in the country had the same need. There was no swath inverters to be found. So that was the motivation here. I'm happy with how it worked out. And then I have a switch here. I can shut the canvas off and reverse it. And I can shift that from side to side too. If I were to brag a bit, I'd say it's better than any swath inverter on the market. It's been said the solution to all problems can be found in the junk pile. I agree. This triticale is going to be baled. I have a neighbor that's anxious for bales, so I'll do it that way. If it were thrashed, most commonly it's cow feed, but it does go into milling as well. Nothing quite like a triticale pancake. And then the flax, that can be either food production, makes those flax buns, but more likely it goes into linseed oil. So that's what I have for moving bales. A spear with two little stabilizer. Okay, on this front end loader, there's a little rod here, an indicator that moves up and down as you roll your bucket, or in this case the bale fork, up and down. Was a day when I could see that from the cab. Then that day came to an end, and I put this little tape on here, give me a little blind man assistance, but that worked for a few years. But I can't see that from the cab anymore, so I'm gonna see if I can make a black backdrop to go behind that piece of tape. Maybe I'll get a year or two out of that. Where's this going? Sandflies. Worse than mosquitoes. Let me see. What are we going to do with this? I had a plan. It's gone. Alright, let's see if that works. Okay, so there's my little hoo-ha. We're just raising the sphere up and down. If I get it down, get the yellow lined up with the white, should be about the right angle. Alright, so with the spear pointed downward, once it starts to enter that bale, it should lift it, and then I pull on the lever, and there it is.